So next we consider the fiscal policy and international capital mobility. But before that we need to discuss about the slope of the BP schedule. Now BP schedule is represented by R minus R star, then 1 by K, which is equal to 1 by K, then within bracket we have some autonomous terms, and then we have M upon K Y. So this is the equation for the BP schedule. Now what is dr dy from here? This is equal to M by K, and this represents the slope of the BP schedule. BP is equal to 0 schedule. Now when BP is vertical, this BP schedule is vertical, when K is equal to 0, then dr dy is infinity. So that means BP is equal to 0. This curve has a vertical, is vertical. And when K is finite and M is also finite, then dr dy is positive. So that means the slope of the BP is a positively sloped. So BP is positively sloped curve. When K is finite. Now when K is equal to 0, what is the interpretation of K? K represents, K comes from the Ka schedule. Now we know that K is equal to Ka bar plus small k R minus R star. So when K is equal to 0, so then there is no capital mobility, international capital mobility. And when K is finite, then there will be a capital mobility internationally if there is a difference between R and R star. So when we are considering that K is equal to 0, that means we are considering there is no capital mobility, international capital mobility. And when K is finite, that means we are considering that there will be capital mobility internationally. Now we will consider 3 diagrams where we shall consider the expansionary fiscal policy. So in diagram 1, we are considering IS curve, then LM curve, then BP schedule, which is vertical. So here we are considering 0 international capital mobility, because here BP schedule is vertical and K is 0 here. Now in the second diagram, we are considering IS and LM curve, which is negative and positively sloped curves, and here the BP schedule is a positively sloped curve. And in the third diagram again, we are considering IS and LM curve, but here BP is flatter as compared to the BP schedule we are considering in diagram 2. So this is the BP schedule. So here the BP schedule is more flatter than this BP schedule. So this is diagram 2, this is diagram 3, and this is diagram 1. Now we are considering the expansionary fiscal policy. So suppose government is increasing the expenditure. So that is why the IS curve is shifting to the rightward direction from IS0 to IS1, and the new equilibrium between LM and IS curve is here at point G, suppose. Now at point G, what happens? We have higher rate of interest and higher amount of income also as compared to this older equilibrium point. So at the new equilibrium point G, we have higher rate of interest and higher rate of higher income level also. Now even if the rate of interest is high, then also there will be no capital mobility, because BP schedule is 0 here, the vertical here, and K is equal to 0 here. So here we are assuming that there will be no international capital mobility even if R rises. So then if we are here, then the economy will remain here, and we will have a deficit situation in the balance of payment, because we know that to the right of the BP schedule there is always a balance of payment deficit. So at point G, at the new equilibrium point, there will be a balance of payment deficit. So this is the case in diagram 1. Now here we consider the diagram 2. In diagram 2, what will happen if there is an expansionary fiscal policy? Then IS curve will shift from IS0 to IS1, and at the new equilibrium point between LM and IS curve, that is at the point of intersection between LM and the new IS curve, what will happen? There will be a higher rate of interest and higher level of income as compared to the older equilibrium. Now at this new equilibrium point, the BP, we are to the right of the BP schedule, and BP schedule is positive here. So since we are to the right of the BP schedule, that means we will have a balance of payment deficit situation. Now here, since the BP schedule is positively sloped, that means K is finite here. That means we are considering the international capital mobility. So when there will be a deficit in the balance of payment at this point, at the new equilibrium point G, then there will be an increase in the rate of interest because of the shift of the IS curve, and with the higher rate of interest there will be more inflow of the capital to the economy, and this will help to offset the balance of payment deficit partially. Now what will happen in the diagram 3? In diagram 3, BP schedule is more flatter. Now when there will be an expansionary fiscal policy, then IS curve will shift from IS0 to IS1. Now at the new equilibrium point, which is the point of intersection between the original LM curve and the new IS curve, now this equilibrium point is to the left of the BP schedule. Now we know that to the left of the BP schedule there is always a balance of payment surplus. So at the new equilibrium point we will have a balance of payment surplus. But here we will have a balance of payment deficit, and that is why there will be an capital inflow, net capital inflow to the economy.